Now, you would have heard over the last hour or so some calls that we took that in an inner-city local newspaper, A.P.I.A Tigers chairman Tony Raciti has said they should stop copying the AFL and Rugby League, two pitiful and insignificant sports that are unheard of outside Australia and never will be heard of outside of Australia. Tony has joined us on the line. Thanks for your time, Tony.
How are you, gentlemen?
Good.
Going well.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the truth, isn't it?
Why?
Well, isn't it the truth? Why isn't it the truth? Rugby League and AFL are minor insignificant sports. They've hoodwinked the public for the last 100 years in this country.
Hoodwinked the public?
Hoodwinked by the media, yes.
So and they've hoodwinked the media who pay them billions of dollars?
In what sense do they pay them billions of dollars?
Television contracts?
Look, as you can appreciate...
No,
go anywhere.
Tony,
you got to let me talk.
Well, answer the question.
Because I've got grey hair. You've got to answer my questions too.
No, well, you answer it.
Now,
you've made the statements, and I'm happy for you to back it up.
And I'm going to back up the statement.
Well, fire away.
Well aware, first and foremost, the minor numbers of people that follow those two sports, they're just bitterly jealous of the world game, which is football or soccer as it's called in this country.
Really?
Number one. Number two,
green.
Within 10 years, 75-80% of every boy and girl in this country will be playing soccer. Within 5 years, the registrations will be equal 50% boys, 50% girls. Mm-hmm. Is there any other sport in this country with such phenomenal, huge, massive, mammoth numbers?
So what does that say to us?
But they've always had...
It says to you, stop knocking the game. It's just for your jealousy that you guys are knocking the game. And you are. You know that.
How did we knock the game?
We don't knock the game. It's always been our number one participation sport.
You've made a statement.
Look at the recent World Cup bid.
No. We got you on because you're the one that was knocking something, not us.
You guys have been knocking the game of soccer for the last 100 years.
Okay, tell us what we said.
Tell you what you said. Well, just even recently with the World Cup bid. You put every spanner in the works that you could possibly put in there.
We did.
Yes, you did.
We did, didn't we?
Those two sports did. You're very well aware of
it.
No. That would happen nowhere else in the world except in this country would that happen.
Okay,
why?
But so why is that? Why do you expect them to just roll over and cost themselves?
Well, why shouldn't they roll over? It's the biggest sporting event in the world.
Yeah. And they're welcome.
Not to them,
and they're welcome here.
Not to the millions of fans who want to watch their AFL team run around.
Tony,
I'm a 22 million population, Australia.
I know that. It's a great country.
Full of billions and billions of people.
Yeah, correct. But in this country,
this is a great discussion we're having.
It is.
Look, you both know they are minor, insignificant sports on the world stage.
No, they're not.
Please,
on the world stage.
No, they're insignificant to you, Tony.
There's 4 countries play in the World Cup
Rugby
League.
Tony, you're right.
So
you're
what?
right.
Okay.
On the world stage, you are right. They are insignificant. However, in our backyard, which is the most important thing to many Australians, they are far from insignificant. They are very significant, which is why your sport in this country has failed to take a foothold. Now, if by just...
Who's playing the sport? You've got nobody playing the sport. Drive around Australia, every state in this country. There's no more rugby league fields left. There isn't any. There's none left. You've got no fields left. There's nobody playing on them.
Tony, answer a couple of questions, if you would. All right? Why aren't you on commercial free-to-air television?
Oh, that you'd have to ask the A-League boss.
Well, I'd suggest because it's...
Well, you seem to have answers for everything else.
It's called lack of interest, Tony. That's why it's not on television, because it doesn't rate.
You know, I mean, if
it did rate, it'd be on.
And when it does rate, Tony, it'd be on free-to-air television.
Oh, I admire your passion.
No, well, I would admire
We're just talking facts, Tony.
If instead of just you telling people that they should do what you say, that you open up and provide some answers for what you're trying to say.
I did give you the answers. I've been telling you.
Well, I think your answers are narrow-minded.
The public has been hoodwinked.
I think you're narrow-minded, short-sighted, and do nothing but harm your code. People like you harm your code, Tony.
Code in the world and the number one code in Australia.
We accept that. We accept that it's the number one game in the world. That's no argument.
And in Australia. Not in the world, and in Australia.
Participation, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. And
So-
there's
And
no
growing
argument.
daily, and growing daily, not yearly, daily.
Okay.
Daily.
The
They're knocking back registrations.
Well, Top, just 1
Junior
minute.
clubs throughout Australia are knocking back registrations. They're cutting off registrations.
Tony?
In rugby league, you're joining 12s with the 14 age group, 12s with
But,
13s, 15s,
Tony-
with 16s, which you can't even form a competition.
Tony, how long have you been following the game?
Which game?
Football.
Oh.
All your life.
Since the day I was born.
How long you been here? You were born here?
I was born in beautiful downtown Paddington.
Okay. Are you disappointed with the way that's been run for the last 40 years?
Well, what the other games haven't been
No.
run any much better, have
Well,
they?
they seemingly are making money.
They're
Tony.
making money.
Yeah.
Which sport's making money? Rugby league.
Well, they're now negotiating $1 billion contract for television.
Pretty much both of them. And Tony, I have played football since I was 4, and I still play 3 comps now. I love the game, and I sat here many a time. You asked Toff and Graham. I've talked about the numbers that you're talking, but it's not commensurate to what goes into eyeballs and what advertisers want to pay for. It doesn't add up. So someone, be it your colleagues...
Because the major editors of all the major newspapers in Australia and radio and TV networks...
Tony, that's not correct,
Rugby
Tony.
League and trying to squash...
No, they are. They are, yes, they are. You know why they are? Because of the top 200 Australian football players, what percentage of them don't ply their trade here?
Well, unfortunately, the income's not there, is it?
Okay.
You're answering your own question.
So what's your problem with the fact that our local
But how
news
could you possibly
media...
How can you possibly match the income in Europe and other places?
I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that point. I'm arguing your point about our news media doing all the damage to your beloved football.
They are.
It's not that. No. Our market doesn't support our best players staying in this country. That's not Rugby League's problem. It's not AFL's problem.
Well, how can
it's
a
your
market of
problem.
$22 million support a player getting paid $500,000
Thank you.
a week?
Thank you.
But
The-
you're
the
answering your own
prosecution rests.
question.
You've just proved your own
You
argument.
just proved your own argument, Tony.
And now, boys, you're being a little bit unfair. It's 3 versus 1 here.
No. We're just...
Well, Tony, I got to say that I think it's a bit sad. I feel sorry for you.
We'd love to support it. We'd love to see...
You guys just got a little bit upset because finally somebody has spoken up. I'm probably one of the
No,
first
We didn't get upset. We had a caller ring in and said
No, you
that you had said pitiful and insignificant.
You wanted to attack other codes. Look, I got to say, Tony, that I'm glad you're not the chairman of a club that I'm involved with, because I don't think you're doing your code any good.
I disagree totally 100%.
I think you're doing more harm than good, and I hope you've got some good mates around you who can offer you some advice.
I don't think so. I think it's the other way around. You guys need some advice. And
We should
finally
embrace the
somebody
game.
finally told you something you didn't like. You didn't
No,
like
no, no.
hearing it.
We're happy
you
to
don't
hear
like
it.
hearing the truth, and I've just given you the truth.
It's
You've
not-
never heard it before. Now finally
I
you
heard it many times. Heard it many
Just
times.
sheer jealousy.
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
Jealousy.
Oh, yeah,
Passion.
green with
Absolutely,
envy.
you are agreeing with it. You
Green
are all
with envy.
agreeing with envy.
I think you need
just
some
cannot-
help,
You
Tony.
are. No.
I think you need some help personally.
No. You need
Okay.
some help.
Tone.
The gospel according to Tony.
Just
All right.
jealous. Sheer, incredible jealousy.
Okay,
Righto,
you
Tony.
just said that.
Jealousy.
Righto, Tony.
All right, boys. Have a
Al,
nice day.
thanks, Tone.